Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Deziel and today I'm going to show you how to make the high waist pant or skirt. We wear low waist for so many years that there's a little confusion between the natural waist and the high waist. This one I'm showing you today is the real high waist. To do your high waist skirt or pant, you have to first trace your block, and if like me your seam allowance are included, just retrace the inside line, so the seam line, the area where you're going to work. So I'm going to start with the front. I only trace the top part of my pant. First, I'd like to say that a normal waistband is 4 to 5 centimeter. So I'm going to start with a 5 centimeter. That would be my maximum. And most of the time, there's no fitting to do when you respect the 4 or 5 centimeter. If you want your high waist to be wider than that, I'll show you what to do. Place your ruler touching the side seam point and the center front point, and just trace parallel. This time I'm doing 5 cm, so like I said, it's my maximum. And then I'm going to square down, touching my waist and side seam and touching my center front. Now I'm going to do 2 more square, touching the original waist and dart point. So square from the top line. Now, just to make sure again that you have not too much fitting or no fitting at all, measure your waist. I have 18.7. You're going to check on the top part how much did you get. So I'm missing like a 3 millimeter on my top line because that one is straight, this one is curved. You're going to add it on the side seam, your little measurement that you're missing. Then connect with the waist and side seam point. Then you're going to add your seam allowance. The high waist is done. You're going to have notch on both sides of the dart lines, and you're going to have your normal punch hole a centimeter or so higher than the final pivot of the dart, and you're going to have extra punch hole to indicate until which area you're going to sew straight. At the waist level, on one side do it 3 millimeter inside, and the other one I would do it exactly on the middle line. So now if I show it to you on the fabric, what it looks like, you have the 3 millimeter inside that indicate the width to sew, and where you change your angle, and you have the normal punch hole at the bottom and the middle one at the waist level that indicate you how to fold. You're always sewing on the side where you see the 2 punch holes, straight until waist, and then angle for your normal dart. It's going to give you that 3D shape. Now let's do the back. So again, I trace my inside line, and I'm going to do a parallel line touching the 2 intersections, so center, back and waist, waist and side seam, and I'm going to trace my high waist 5 cm straight. Now again, I'm going to trace square from that new line, touching my side seam, touching the side of the dart. Now just like I did in the front also, I'm going to measure my waist and compare with the top line. Here I'm missing just 2 millimeters, so you measure it on the side seam and connect with the original waist. Like I did on the front also, I'm going to put my seam allowance, and for the indication exactly the same, my notches on top of the dart and punch hole 3 millimeter inside and 1 exactly on the middle line. Of course also here the bottom punch hole about a centimeter higher than the dart. Now for all the ones that try to eliminate darts as much as they can, you should know that for high waist you're not going to get a good fit if you eliminate the dart. The more dart you have, the smoother is going to be your garment, the nicest fall you'll get. So maybe you should just watch some of my video where I give you the tip for the sewing of the dart using a paper. It's quite easy. I did cut my front pattern and I just traced my lines on the other side so I could put it side to side with my back. And before you go any further, you should place your seam line over your seam line. So remember the modified line with an angle. Place them together and just check to see if you have a smooth curve on top. I do, so I have nothing to fix, but if your angle is bigger, you might have a little point there. If you do have a little point, just go with your French curve and just cut the tip of the point. Now for the high waist, the finishing on top should be a facing, and how you do it, you just fold your dart and retrace that top part to be a facing, and remember to trace your waistline, and you could add a centimeter extra for the inside, but don't go any further, because if you want to do a wider facing you would have to do the dart also. Just place a paper under while it's folded and retrace. Since both front and back facing are going to be similar, to make sure you know the difference and you don't mix them up, front has one dart, back has two, so you should place 2 notches on top for the back facing, matching your dart, so you'll know it's your back. Now my back facing is retraced. I'm just going to put my 1 centimeter at the bottom. The grain line is going to be parallel to my center back, and this one is cut 2 in self and cut 2 in fusing. Now before I cut my pattern, I just want to show you how to make it wider than the maximum of 5 centimeter and the adjustment you will have to do. So let's say you want an extra 2 centimeter on top. Just trace 2 centimeter parallel and extend all the line, including the angle at the side seam. And you would cut on that line. The adjustment that have to be done should be done when you try it on. You're going to be able to close your garment like that, but it won't be comfortable, especially on top. So what you're going to do is you're going to open the dart area on the top part, so from the waist up, and you're going to measure how much it needs to be open. Let's say you find out that you need an extra centimeter here. That means from the original position, you're going to move the notch inside by 5 millimeter on each side. That will give you an extra centimeter. So your notch will be there, and your seam is going to be a bit like a diamond-shaped dart. So from the 0.5 into the waist point, and then the other direction. After you sew your dart, press them, you're going to open and see which one are opening, which one are not. Maybe this one is going to remain the same. The adjustment will be only right here. So it all depends on your body where you need it. Same thing for the front. So you might have to open it a little bit on top. Now you could go ahead and cut your pattern. While you're cutting, at the waist, just smoothen the line, so that means going out maybe 2-3 millimeter to have a nice shape on the side seam. For this one, I'm doing the maximum 5 centimeter. Then I'm going to do my notches. And for high waist, I like to keep the original reference, so I'm going to notch at the waist level, side seam and crotch line. And we're ready for the try-on. Here's the result of what we just did, exactly the pattern I did with you. So it was the short. You could see the result in the front, but the front is usually pretty flat, so you cannot appreciate as much as in the back. So where you could see the 3D coming back up. As I was saying, if you do go further up, you're going to need to open this area here and do it by fitting. right now I'm not gonna have no adjustment because it is my 5 centimeter, and you see that the fit is perfect and there's no adjustment. You have a nice continuous waistline. But if you do have to adjust because the torso part gets much bigger, that's where you look, and it's going to open, and you just pin it back and measure from the original to the new line. And this is how much you need to open on your pattern, the way I show you, by moving your notch inside the dart. That's it for today. I hope you enjoy. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and share my video. Thanks for watching, and I see you next time.